Hello everybody, so today we're doing another VOD. This is, I forget, this is like what, console plat, if I remember right. So we did a VOD for, anyhow, so what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted was that we did a VOD for this Ray player before. And it was Bright Marsh, and they didn't do so hot. There was a lot of dying. It's on Bright Marsh again. Coolio. So the stuff, there were 3 notes, which were guess what you did that got you killed after every death, and do not do that thing again. Play with teammates and play farther back. If the other team wants to push you, it should be difficult. So. Spoilers, this is a win, which usually aren't great for VODs, but they said that this was a sweaty game, and they wanted to make sure that they're applying everything properly. So, coolio. Remember that you can get your own VOD done either by sending it in the Discord, which is linked below, or redeeming it on a Twitch stream. So, going into this, right? Just look at items and talents and builds and comps and all that first. Did you change your build? I don't think you changed your build. It looks cool to me. Did I talk about Magic in the Blood being at 5 last time? I probably did. Okay, going into comps. You guys have
5, 4, 3, 2.
So you guys have, okay, first of all, let's point out one thing. This is not the composition for Ray. Your alts suck. Like, legitimately suck. Torvald has like 2 spots on this, maybe 3. Maybe 3 spots that can get value on this map, and those are like this line of sight, this line of sight, and this line of sight. But those are all like really obvious. So like, and the other team can see them coming. And I was about to say they could do something like hook him out of his ult, but now Torv is CC immune in his ult for some reason, so bye-bye counterplay. So yeah, Torv ult sucks. Tyra ult is just shoot faster. Lux ult is, I mean, it's not good. Your best ult is your own. Term ult is good, but it's not like, you don't push with Termalt. You never look for Termalt. Like some people look for Termalt and then feed. It's like why would you just why did you do that? Don't use Don't look for Termalt. Don't, like, it's not worth it, dude. Just like try to live and then use Termalt when you die. Like, you can use Termalt as a second life, but don't like look to die when you use Termalt. Look to actually like do something. Short version is you should not be picking Ray in this comp, because the only reason you pick Ray is because she gives the other people ult. Anything would be better here. Like, literally anything. Maybe not like Genos Grok, but like anything else. Soul Collector Ceres would legitimately be better. So that's important to know. But what your comp does do, right? Nultarv? So like, you guys have a pretty good offline matchup. Like, Koa fucking dies into both of your DPS. Is he a half shell? Oh, he's not half shell, so he dies even harder, and he loses to Rekka really hard, which your team did not buy. So that sucks. You guys are probably going to look to be somewhat aggressive. Like, you do have the Tyra and the Term and the support, so like you can play off point. But if you do that, the other team will win offlane. So you probably want to play pretty aggressive in offlane. Like, you had an Ashe or like a Ruckus, like, or maybe like a Con or whatever. Like, you could theoretically play off point, especially if you had like a different support, but if you guys try to play slow, your offlane probably just gets run over. So, God, Koa hooks are so good. Like, into your comp, like, Koa sucks, but Koa hook is so good. But yeah, what that means for you is that, like, if your gem goes point, obviously you want to keep him alive. If you're offlane, like, you want to look for when your offlane goes aggressively. Last game you had like a Ruckus on the other team, right? So like, living versus a Ruckus is a lot harder than living versus no flanks and a Makoa. So you're gonna live better just like inherently because their comp runs at you less. Like the way their comp works is what kind of scout kills debilitates. Like they're God, that is not good, but it's console, so it'll probably work. Especially in ranked at whatever elo. This is plat, right? So it'll probably work. Yeah. So unless the sky is doing some suicide sky nonsense for you, then like you're fine. Only thing you gotta worry about is like their ults and respecting hook. So this isn't necessarily like the best game, but like we can still look at like whether you're playing with people or not. So that's not you. Why is that not you? Okay. I didn't see. I'm gonna mention. I don't know if you did it, but if when there's like 2 seconds left, like you get your mount at 2 seconds. If you link to someone at like 2.1 seconds, the link lasts like what 4 seconds, so you get some uptime on that. It's my disgrace. You are indeed following your team. Your diary didn't tell. The thing there is that like Leonara could have turned on you, and when your team does that, like it's hard, dude. Because realistically, like if your team's all on their backline, you don't really have any space to work with, because like you can't necessarily go to their backline. Like if you were gonna go to their backline, I would have gone to it harder, like with like pop envelop and follow your team. Almost like God, my Overwatch player is showing, but like almost like BAP does in Rhine comps, if that makes any sense to you Paladins players. But yeah, you'd want to be like a lot closer, just so that Inara can't cut you off, because like when you are doing that sort of like big boy rotation, it's you lingering behind just a little bit means you die. So either go in harder, or honestly you could have stuck with your Tyra. Could have been an option. Yes, give your Torvald charge. This is gonna help you win. Why aren't you capping? Cap. What kind of Torv build is this? I'm kinda curious. Oh no, okay, I was wondering if it was like speeding the guy. Speeding the term. So two things here is like you're not charging ult for anyone. That's not the worst thing. When you don't need to charge, like this is the same sort of thing that you do if like your team, if you didn't draft very good comp but everyone had ult and you don't need to like charge ult. Your ult does two other things besides charge ults. It does damage and it does healing. So like linking to your term here for healing is fine. Or you honestly could save it for damage. They have a sky, right? If you link to the sky, she dies basically. If your teammates have like a brain cell or two, because like you can shoot her, your Tyra can mark her, your Tyra, like she gets an ult, she just fucking falls over, right? The thing that I actually paused to talk about was that you were on point while there's a fight going on. This is death for you. So you don't want to be up. What are these noises, dude? Can we just hold up? Let's just there we go. So this is death for you, basically. You do not want to be on the objective while stuff is going on. I don't know where your Tyre died, but like here, like your term is sort of where you are, and he just took as much damage as you have health. This could have basically been you, sort of. So it's like when the fight actually like starts, dude, you wanna get off point. Let your tanks take that. It's like you want to be leaving. What if Inara had walled you off? I heard. Did I just hear Inara wall, or am I stupid? I might be both. So you were getting farmed because you're on the objective, but it's okay because you're Ray. None of those heals bounce to you. That's crazy. Your turn meets health, huh? And getting kinda. Like, that's kind of okay. This is also sort of why like winning VODs are bad. I'm gonna harp on this a few times because like your term, you made a pretty bad mistake in just ignoring that term for a while. And like yes, he's alive, but he took Tor Bubble, and I almost guarantee he has look, he has no siphon. That shouldn't happen. You should be keeping this man alive. Follow your Lux, you could just heal your turn, that'll mouse your Lux. Yep. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. If you followed your team and then your team bailed, and that is instantly you backing up. Instantly. Also, notice that like your tire is pushing, you could hold on instead of focusing point.
That enemy is unstoppable. Somebody do something.
Your point pot. Your Lux is gonna assume, honestly, that your Lux is gonna assume that you're on point. Probably back up to point for heals. If you chase him like this, he'll probably just ring around the Rosium and you'll die to like poison damage or something. You are point pot. You are point pot. You're seriously gonna let your DPS push? No. Okay. Reason supports push point here is because like you can still have an impact from point. Like you can still heal things, and like if your DPS is on point, you know, you only need LOS on your team to have an impact. Tiger needs LOS on their team to have an impact. Or wait, who's pushing curfew? Oh, it's Satira. Sorry, wrong team. But like, you get the idea, right? So yeah, you take point. So I get you tried to follow that, right? Cool, good job. But now like we get to the next thing, which is like if you cannot follow your team, if you will die following your team, then don't. You ought to ult though. You always ult that, because now your team has no support, and you lose this fight. But if you had ulted, this, you know, you're alive. I don't know if you have enveloped like with this Lex, you're pocketing each other. Tiger's dead. Your team still has 5 up. Instead of that happening, you can push up now. You can keep your term alive. You're pushing Kurt all this time, and now you have 5 people up. This Makoa, who's by himself right now, in a what would be a 5v3, also probably dead. And then because you're Ray, you're probably like 70% to your next ult charge or something stupid like that. Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you back? What the f— Okay. I don't even know where to begin with this, man. This is something else. So obviously there's like, you're mounting into their backline, and that's great, right? Like there's like, you know, I am personally the aggressive support. I go backline. Haha, funny joke, right? But this is stupid. So this is really stupid. It's stupid because now your team dies. That's why it's stupid. Because you're not there. They're just gonna get run over. They have a support. They're gonna win that fight. You know, they have healing, but your team doesn't. And even if you were, for some ungodly reason, if you end up in the other team's backline like this, you don't go for their mate. You don't go for a tank. You go for a squishy. You're not gonna kill this Makoa. This Makoa is gonna get healed. He's gonna, you know, take 5,000 damage to kill. Then he's gonna get healed and take another 5,000 damage to kill. Go for the Corvus. Corvus has less HP and also cannot heal himself. So, yeah, I don't. If you live this, yeah. So what you just did there, never again. Okay. Taking some time in the spawn room to think about what you just did and how you just threw the last 2 fights. Like, if you had, you know, ulted for yourself, or if you had not followed the person that you could not follow, if you had not followed the person that you could not follow, if you had ulted for yourself, and if you had not mounted their freaking backline, you probably would win all of those fights. Pop envelop before you get ulted. Or ult, honestly, make yourself damage immune while you're stunned. And if you are going to get stunned, best case scenario is you pop envelop and jump to the right as you're getting stunned, so that when you get stunned, your momentum carries and you end up like back here or something. And then you don't take the massive 300 damage that got put into you for some reason. I don't know how you didn't take more. Team dead. L. So like just to repeat something that is, so you need to move back up. Okay, just first of all, just like repeat something I've said in a few VODs. Now is if you want to be aggressive, your offlane is the way to do it. You are pushing, you need to be aggressive. The other team has defender's advantage, they have respawns, they have like better positioning by just like because they are defending, that's how the map geometry works. So you need to make something happen. You make something happen with the offlane. So you don't need to look at in main as hard. Also, you have 3 people alive right now. I think both your DPS are respawning. So, like, ideally you just leave and you don't get this ult force. This wasn't even that force. Like, you're still 1100 HP, right? Did you actually need to ult this? I don't know. Maybe damaging me and stuff, but following people does not mean playing in front of them. Oh my god, you're gonna ask and get hooked. This Makoa sucks.
15 seconds.
That is, you should be dead. So
10, 9.
So following people, right? Why do we follow people? We follow people so that those people get enabled. However, if you die, it's bad. Also, this term has ult. This term is doing the thing that I was talking about earlier to not to do, where I think he's looking for ult.
8, 7, 6, 5.
You could just do that from main, man. Just do it from main and it's so much safer. God, your term actually lives that. Never mind that. Okay.
Alright, overtime, now or never, boys.
So, just gotta right clicks. You are also wide peeking. You could be like hugging this corner, push up to here, or like you like realistically you hug this corner, you have here to back up into, and then you let your term take hurt the rest of the way. It's the same thing as like capping point. You live this. Okay.
Chapter point spawns in 15 seconds.
There's one of the angles. Do they both live? They both live. Nice. Torvald. That's not. There you go. It's like even here, right? This is fine because you're getting cap time, right? But like, there's a fight happening. You would always prefer to win the fight than get cap time. If you can do both, that's great. You win the mid fight, but like you being on the objective means that your team has a lower chance of winning the actual team fight. So in basically every situation, I'd rather trade like some cap time for a higher chance to win the fight. You should be basically with your Tyra right here. This is sort of LOS you should have. Basically be like here maybe. Like it's great your team won the 4.5 v5, but like
Alright, they're getting hot,
oh, are you gonna? Where are you going? This guy just kills you now, yeah?
Okay, now you're rolling.
Okay,
they're getting hot.
if your tanks didn't peel back, you die. If this guy goes for you earlier, you die. If the Corvus keeps shooting you for some reason he stopped, you die. Back up to your team there. You're lucky they came for you. Yeah, your job on cap. Your job on no. Okay. Yes, like you're in trouble here, right? This is far. Oh my god, giving me anxiety seeing you back up here. There's a Makoa. You went to you don't like pop envelop. Pop envelop. Okay. At the very least, you live. But like also, you like being on the objective means that like you're not seeing this fight that's happening on the left side, and you're tired died for it. Like you gotta consider like, you know how like you took your eyes off the term for like a few seconds earlier, and like he had to use like a lot of siphon. He took a lot of damage, but he lived. If you take your eyes off of someone who does not have a siphon and does not have 5,000 HP, they will die, like your Tyra just did. Almost kind of the point. Just stay back, man.
Alright,
Not worried. Hey, you took your eyes off your Lux for a few seconds when you died. Now, I'm not saying that your Lux didn't feed or that your Tyra didn't feed, or it's not. Neither of their, you know, they both played perfectly, but it's just alas, the Ray isn't looking at them, like obviously they messed up in some way, they're dead. But like, you know, you could have prevented them dying. Probably. I didn't like see exactly what happened, but it's the concept that matters. Just have just tank that. Oh. I mean, I don't know. Being on the objective is bad. Like at that point in the fight, there's realistically nothing you can do. Because you're screwed no matter where you go. You should be screwed. The best bet you can do is like go docks, like go to the right side and hope they don't chase. But like the mistake that like let both of your DPS die is the reason you lost, and that's what you look to fix. Also, they have 40% cap right now. You have 99. They have 40. You need to leave. If you live this, oh, that's awful. Jump to the right. If there had actually been like follow up on that or something, you would have been. Unfort. So like, yeah. Make sure that like you prioritize winning the fight over getting cap time, and like don't be on point, and not being on point makes your awareness better so you can actually like help your DPS. Like, were you playing with people? Yeah, but like you were playing with your turn on the objective. That's not actually who you want to be playing with. You're just kind of, again, you were with your tanks on the objective, basically. In mid, same difference. That being said, yeah, like it looks like there's improvement. Like you're friggin' winning. Okay, big Torvald. Second time's the charm. Like, it looks like you're improving, but you're also winning, so it's like hard to tell. Jeez, you need to stop being far up in mid. There is, I want to say, no situation where you should actually be far up in mid with your tank like that. And like, if you can think of one, let me know, dude. But I don't know. Like maybe the only situation I can think of is like if you're going for like a really ballsy play on their main tank. But like, come on. You know, that's not. That's like a you do once every few months in scrims type of thing, not ever going to happen in ranked. Unless you're on a team with Aura 2020 because he likes to do that kind of nonsense. Like this is good. That's good. What you did there, that was good. Keep doing that. Big heals on your 2 full HP targets. I really wish you had it for your term right now. Where is this Inara going? Bro, she is moving. That's a nimble 3. Is that core? God damn. How much speed? That's 36% move speed. Bro, she is gone. Hey, you died in mid again. I feel like all of your deaths have been in mid. Bro, she is in your spawn. I want to spec this in R.
30 seconds left.
Are you gonna go to the backline again? Don't. What if the tiger was here? He just says, "Oh hi," and then like pops Q and you die, unless you ult, in which case he dies. But like, then you used ult and maybe he gets killed. Like I don't know. Ray's like a stupid character. Ray ult is stupid, but like you shouldn't be doing this, right? What if it's the Makoa here? What if the Makoa's not? Oh hi! Wow! If it isn't the consequences of, wow! It's literally just what I said. So like, yeah, don't go back like that. I don't know what you're doing. So last choke right, Marsh, right? Let's talk about high-res map design. High-res does a lot of maps where the defense spawn room looks something like this, where you have spawn doors that lead onto a high ground that are very close together, that look over the capture point and mid and all the important areas and all that. This is really, really free for the defense because it means that your DPS and basically your backline, right, your support too, your DPS can kind of just sit up here And if they ever get low, they just dip inside spawn and are invincible. They re-peek, they shoot stuff, they go back and spawn, they're invincible. Rinse and repeat. This is really stupid, and the only way to prevent it is like either send a tank to sit right here, have like a Grover Kinessa sort of thing that can get picks at that range, in which case they probably just like LLS you by like playing angles and stuff. But like, you know, even then, like well, they have neither of these things. Basically what that means is like you should stay high, because then you are an invincible spawn door support. Right? Invincible spawn door DPS are like the define like so many lost chokes, Ascension Peak, Frozen Guard, Ice Mines, like most of them, dude. Warder's Gate has one. And like all of them, your backline never really needs to leave high ground generally, because they're invincible and they have good positioning and they're invincible, and all of a sudden it becomes a game of, well, we're just gonna hope that we can somehow burn their tanks better while they have invincible spawn door DPS. If you don't like have range for anything, then pushing up like this is like, sure, but you still shouldn't be like wide peeking mid like that, like the McCullough could have hooked you or something. I feel like you've gone from like playing with nobody to like saying, I'm going to play with my tanks in front line, almost, which is like, that's not it, that's not it, so. Playing with someone doesn't mean like holding hands with them, right? It means like you are in a position to help them. And you are near them. You are within, like the general like rule of like positioning when you're playing with someone is you want to be close enough to body block for them if you need a body block for them for some reason. But like you don't want to be holding hands, because otherwise like that's dangerous for you, and AoE stuff is gonna mess you up. So, buy items challenge? Impossible. Could have gone Weasel, Haven, but... So, this is like less bad than what you did last time, because what you did last time, can I go through this? Like, ooh, was you saw 5 people and then you jumped. That was bad. This is better. Still not good. I don't know how both of your teams are somehow going this way. But you were dismounted, going into mid. So I'm not sure if you're trying to play with your turn. If you were trying to play with your turn, you don't really play with a main tank ever. That's just not like a thing that happens, and it's not a thing that they need you to do. If you want to like, that's kind of just like playing off point, and when you play off point, you're playing with your backline DPS, in which case that's your Tyra. So if you want to play off point, you want to play with your turn, you play with your Tyra. Because that's, you know, the kind of, when you're playing off your main tank, you're playing off point. That's the three that are going to make that work, is your backline DPS, your support, your main tank is generally like what's actually like looking at point. It's like your offlane and off DPS are usually like just distractions, and space holders. And slow comps is kind of how it works, generally. I feel like I always have to say generally so that like the rare exceptions don't like come to bite me in the ass if like someone who like knows the game watches these. But yeah, again, you're up forward and mid, you're gonna die for it. You should die for it, you might not die for it. I don't know why the other team's so late. I'm gonna repeat the thing again of, one, you're not paying attention to your squishies, your DPS, and you're also trading cap time for less potential to win the fight. And you're dead. Wow. Again, your entire team is alive. You solo, even after doing like the dumb go to point thing, you still solo up for yourself, because you dying here is worse. You living here is better than you dying here. Buy items challenge is very hard. It's like, play for Tyra means like maybe you respawn to here, You link to her, you pop envelop, you're both living, you kite, you play slow, you're healing each other up, you grind the Makoa, whatever. Does not mean mount, like, you are in the same area as the Tyra, good job, but like, you know, this is not the play. Your Tyra's going to die unless there's like some nimble shenanigans. They both have nimble. Why do they both have nimble? What's up with the nimble this game? I mean, I get Tyra Terran, but like, it's everybody, dude. Jeez. I mean, I know nimble's like, I think nimble's underrated, but still, everybody. Like, where are you going? You're gonna get this kill. Wow, that's awful. Yeah, your Tyra is dead though. And then you're like, where did this guy come from? So, yeah, like he killed their tiger, right? But like, shouldn't you have done that? You know, I'm just saying, like I guess you have caught. Like if the tiger does get a heal, or if he just like shoots you lol, or if he gets help from anybody, especially the Corvus who can go through your envelop, then like, you are dead. If you really, okay, nitpicky. If you really wanted to min-max that, you weren't dead to a spin, so you could have waited a second before his extra shot, assuming that you knew that no one else had LOS. Get out of mid. Stop. If you want to play, again, if you want to play like mid, like play like here. Play here. Play here. Play here. Not here. Look at this is the positioning that like your Torv is in, right? If you ever position the same way that like your tank can take 2200 damage and be fine, you cannot take 2200 damage and be fine. Apparently you can. Your Ray is bullshit, but like, stop this. Where's your Gyra? I wonder if she had help. That'd be really cool. Also, I have not seen this weapon before, so that looks good. Oh, game just crashed. Rip. Okay. Oh, never mind. I just paused it. Okay, I'm really stupid. I just had no audio, so I assumed it crashed. I didn't mean to hit pause. Okay, back to the VOD. Right. What did your Tyra do? Look at all this. Look at those two 1 HP tanks. If only you were here shooting them, they'd be like dead or something. I don't know. Or like this guy that's ambushing her. Wow, she had like heals and extra damage, and oh, you are here. Okay, but like he walked. Okay, you get what I'm getting at, though, right? Is that like being on point is bad. Running into the other team is bad, and walking on the point is basically running into the enemy team. Alright, so did you play with people better? Yes. Congrats. You got that down. That is kind of, not to like take away from you improving, man. Like you improving and putting in the effort and like getting VODs, dude, that's awesome. That is actually like legitimately like great, right? But you kind of sort of have to recognize that like this is like this is basics stuff. But now, like, I mean, I'm not saying that like don't go onto point as support isn't basics, but like now we kind of get into like, you know, you're talking about, okay, play with people. Now it's like, okay, now we get to like actually talk about what that means and why that matters in different like little situations, like that term going in. You don't necessarily want to play with him because that means that you die, right? Don't make one dead idiot, two dead idiots sort of thing. You get to talk about other stuff. Play further back. You were not playing further back enough. You were, again, if you get out of mid and you get out of like, well, specifically like get out of like being far up in mid, if you're ever like next to your main tank or next to a tank at all, generally, like next to them, like, you know, shoulder to shoulder sort of thing, you're too far up. You should be able to like see them, you know. So yeah, but you did improve, for sure. If you want to like keep improving, then like, you know, keep working on the whatever I put in the note sections. Get out of mid and you'll prevent like half your deaths. And also, I know this is like a win and I did VOD it, but like I won't VOD another win because like they're not good VODs, you know. So If you submitted like a close loss, there might have been like other stuff that would pop up, you know. So you also didn't like super adapt is like the other thing, right? Like you died in mid and then you died far up in mid, then you went far up in mid again. Even did the same thing too. Like you went on point and you were trading cap time for your chance in the fight, and this guy killed you, and then you did the exact same thing again, right? So I don't know if you just didn't do it or if you identified like the wrong reason, but that's kind of up to you to decide. It's in your hands now. So yeah, notes are below as always, along with like the ways to submit VODs if you want to get your own done. Please keep submitting them. It's free content for me. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.